Okay, y'all, this time on Can-Am Tech Tuesday, show y'all an accessory that most people probably didn't know about. XRC brake pedal. So you can see, that's your normal brake pedal on X3 models. Relatively small. Unless you buy an XRC model, and then it comes with a wide brake pedal. So there's your part number. Sub 15004901. So XRC brake pedal for X3 is a pretty awesome option, especially for rock crawling. You can kind of hold your foot over in the little dead foot area and kind of easily pivot back and forth from the brake to hold yourself on a rock, on a hill, whatever. And it's really simple. It just takes a 15mm socket and wrench. It's a new bolt with nut, and then a bearing for each side, and the spacer that goes in between it. So it goes bearing, spacer, bearing. I'll show you how to put this in. So while it's relatively tight in here, it's not insanely hard. The nut's on this side. The bolt comes in from this side. So you break it loose with your 15, and it's really tight. I can go ahead and tell you, it's really tight. You're going to need a little bit of eat your Wheaties in the morning. You push your nut out, you pull the bolt out the other side, until the brake pedal falls. There's a spring hook to it and the rod, and that's pretty simple. So the spring goes in that little hook. The spring is still hanging there. It'll leave it, and it's relatively easy because you can just kind of set it up in there, get the spring on it, use the spring tension to hold everything where it needs to be. We'll get her swapped out. So you can see there's a pretty big difference in width. The XRC is definitely a lot wider pedal than the normal pedal. And it's very helpful for, you know, just being sure-footed on where the brake is on rock climbs and downhills and such as that. So to get this little part off, I was wrong. You also need a pair of pliers. But you slightly pull it out and wiggle up, and it pops off. And then just let the pin fall out, and that's how you swap it. Make sure you put it back on the same way it came off. So it'd be like that. And swap that. This is your brake push rod, and you should be able to do it by hand. Just put it back on, or you can use your pliers. So to put your bearings in your new pedal, I use a vise. If you don't have a vise, use a hammer and a 2x4 block, whatever. On the inside, there's a little stopper, so the bearing can only go in there so far. Mostly it's just flush. So you can put it up on your vise, just like that. And then just use your vise as kind of like a press and wind it in. And that's all. You got one in. Don't forget your spacer. Goes in. And your other bearing. Now your spacer will be a little off, so you'll need to get like a little Phillips head screwdriver or something, get it wiggled back in where it goes, and then seat the bearing in just a little bit better, and then it's all ready to go. So now that you got your arm remounted, your bearings pushed back in, take your new bolt, set it through the frame on this side, but just enough where the brake will still go in. And basically this is your plunger that plunges your brake master cylinder. If you ever wanted to adjust your brake, this is how. You unlock this nut, turn this little 10mm nut, and that can actually move your brake pedal in towards you or out away from you, you know, as a setting position. But you can, you know, slide your plunger back in its little rubber boot first. Once it's kind of lined up, then put your spring on, or maybe do your spring first, just kind of whatever works best for you. It's not exactly easy to get in, but get your spring on, get your rubber boot lined up, and then it's all lined up. Just push your bolt through. There's your bolt. Get everything in there. That little rubber boot, just kind of grab it and wiggle it and stretch it back out over the plunge rod as it should. Keeps dirt and stuff from getting in there. And tighten your bolt up, and you have the XRC big wide brake pedal.